Stars and Stripes, the podcast, at gmail.com for all inquiries. So today in the studio, we have Big T.
What up, what up?
So now,
There we go.
Tommy, me and you have been friends for, how long would you say we've been friends?
Since across the street, we were all, since like their birth, like three. I think that's what time.
I think our moms actually became friends through a mutual friend while they were pregnant with us.
And because your mom lived right by them, right? Like originally. And the first memory I have, I think it's because I don't really remember, but I think it's because people tell me that, is like one of their birthday parties, and there was like a Barney mascot or some shit.
Really? Yeah. Damn, see, I don't even remember that.
I don't know if I remember it, they just because they tell me, so it's in my head.
Yeah. It's funny how, like, you have, your memories are more vivid the more that you talk about it with people. Especially, like, if you grow up and your parents are telling you, like, this story over and over. Yeah. When you're older, you could picture it in your head like a real memory, even if it actually didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's a scary thought.
It's wild.
It could be scary, but
things get deep. But so we were boys in preschool, I remember, and then we pretty much like grew up together. We went through like mad different phases.
Basically, what I remember, we started being friends again. Remember when the Narragansett burned down?
Oh yeah.
And we went. Peggy across the street went away.
I rode my bike to like the fire, and this like female cop was like, I like drove all the way like in the place to like see the fire, and I had a bike ride back, and I was like, oh, I'm bike riding home, and she's like, no, you have to go around the front and like go on to like that's Montauk Highway. And I was like, I really like didn't feel comfortable riding my bike
we were young.
on Montauk Highway, you know. So the cop, then like she's looking at me, and like it came to the point where I could either like turn and go onto Montauk or shoot down my block past the cop. So I did it. She was screaming at me. So like it was just funny. I always resisted authority at such a young age.
Yeah, cause so we went over to check to see if Peggy's house was okay.
Right.
And your mom was there, and then you were like, oh, you want to see my son Derek, or like you guys used to be friends or whatever, and that was it. That was a wrap.
Yeah. And then we've been hanging out ever since.
Literally, probably every week ever since.
I remember. I think like we were into like WWF wrestling. God.
Bro, we had so many phases, son.
Then skateboarding,
even though I was terrible.
Scooters. I
remember we used to like wax like your like the little wood ledge, by your driveway. We used to wax that.
I used to have like 6 setups, but I couldn't skate for shit.
Me neither, dude.
My cousin's mad nice at skating. Anything I built, he would come over and just like kill it. Shout out to Charlie. I think he was actually trying to get like sponsored for that stuff, maybe like by Monster or something. But he's been trying for a while. It's mad hard. Sports so competitive now with like Instagram videos, the skateboarding.
And like I was watching like the X Games and stuff like that, and those kids are getting younger and younger at the goddamn X Games, bro.
Yeah. The evolution of skateboarding is wild. My dad used to show me, like, he had all these skateboarding magazines and shit, because he was big into skateboarding, and they had those, like, he gave his original board to me. It's, like, one of those little ones, like, that big, that, like, they carved the hills of California with.
Basically, you were cool back then, like, if you could, like, do, like, ground tricks back then, like little, not even, like, kickflips and stuff, just, like, flipping the board around, like. Yeah. That was cool back then.
Tony Hawk took like the vert skating to like mainstream wild status.
I idolize those people.
And then after that, we got into AOL AIM.
Oh God, yeah, we did.
You remember how bad you used to make fake screen names?
We were like terrible little kids, man.
I think we were actually the first cyber bullies.
Yeah, honestly, other than that, like we were good kids, like we didn't do anything wrong, but that, man, we were just like out of control.
I think we were like pioneers of cyber bullying.
Honestly, I don't even know if that's a good thing to brag about, but yeah, pretty much.
You make like fake screen names and then like you sign them to 2 computers.
Honestly, it started out with me like trying to see if girls like me. Like, you like, yo,
act like you're someone else.
Do you like Tom? Whatever, and then like it just like came kind of went. And then like there was kids I hated, so I would like fuck with them.
That's bad. Like, hey, it's Dan. Do you like Tom? That'd be like a completely normal AIM conversation. Or just like, hey, what's up? Not much, you. chilling. Nice.
Yo, I remember, one of your staples on AIM, like, you'd be like, yo, I'd be like, hey, what's up? And you'd be like, what's up, TM? You trademarked that shit.
I tried to trademark
fucking straight
the Budweiser commercial.
What's up, TM?
Bro, I always liked frogs. When I was little, in one of the classes, we probably were in class together, they gave me a tadpole. And, oh my god, yeah, they gave me a tadpole. I watched it grow into a frog. I loved the frog. I watched the frog die.
Aww.
And, like, I've never bought another pet because that frog just broke my heart. I had a deep connection with it.
Man. They'll never leave. What's up?
So, yeah, I always loved frogs. And then that Budweiser commercial came out. I guess I trademarked it.
You like that shit, man.
That we were in middle school together.
Middle school was a weird time. It was like an odd time to be alive.
We got really close with Matt Perry, who's actually the next Bill Gates. He has a very high position at Microsoft. He's a legend.
Yeah, dude. We just had each other in middle school. I feel like middle school was just like a weird time, man. We were like huge into hip hop, and I feel like no one was as much into hip hop as us.
I remember our boy Kieran, one of the older kids wanted to fight him, and we had to have his back.
Yeah, I feel like middle school was like a jungle, bro. Everyone wanted to fight everybody. It was like a fight at school every day. It was wild. That's just crazy.
So then, after middle school, you went to public high school.
Private.
I went to
St. John the Baptist. Shout out to the Cougars.
So then high school, like, we went to different schools.
I remember,
we still hung out every day.
Man, I remember I was real worried, like, leaving 8th grade. I didn't want to go. Like, obviously, I didn't want to leave all my friends. And I was mad, upset, but we still stayed just as close as ever.
Yeah.
Like, we even chilled after school, like, not even just weekends and stuff like that. That was cool. I really didn't hang out anyway in St. John's. I just hung out with my Lyndhurst friends.
Right. Except Nick Bowe, the podcast co-host.
That was later on, though.
He's too busy for my show.
Yeah, too fucking busy, man. Thanks a lot, Nicky.
He's probably calling the landline right now.
Let me get a call in. No, he's doing big things.
But, he'll be back soon. Hopefully next week I have a political scientist coming on. That would be a treat for the listeners.
I'll be tuning in.
So then, I stayed home for college and you went away.
Went away, SUNY New Paltz, the Hawks.
How'd you pick New Paltz?
Alright, man. So, it was kind of like a rat race even back in high school. I was kind of like, I want to go to the best school. I don't know, man. Like, I just thought, like, a lot different. Now my views are different and shit like that about college. But, like, I applied to mad private schools. And I got in, I gotta say, like, not to toot my own horn and shit, I got into everything. Mm-hmm. But, like, the money was an issue. Yeah. I was like, should I go to a state school and pay this much? Or should I go to a private school, which is a little bit better name, and be, like, $120K in debt?
I have buddies that are that much in debt right now. It's ridiculous.
I know. Yeah, we know, like, mutual friends, man. Nice-ass schools, and they have good jobs and stuff like that, but they're, like, real in debt. So, honestly, I had a group of friends back then. I dated a girl, and whose name I will not use anybody's names.
No names. We want to protect the guilty here.
I dated a girl, and I was friends. I met my like good group of friends senior year through her, and they were applying to New Paltz, and they said, "Yo, what?" Like, I guess SUNY had that like general application where you could just put the name of the school on it or some shit like that. So I just threw it in. I threw some extra money for the application. I got in. And I visited other schools. I liked the private schools, but they were just too much money. And I went to New Paltz, and I actually was really upset that I had to go to New Paltz. And I fucking loved it.
What private schools did you visit?
Applied to the University of Scranton in Pennsylvania, where the office is set. The show The Office, Scranton, Pennsylvania. I don't even know if they really actually shot there, but St. Joseph's University in Philadelphia, not the St. Joseph's College.
Right. Philly. Meek Mill dropped.
Yeah, it was like right in the city too. It was like right in the city.
Shout out to Meek Mill. Yeah. Go listen to Dream Chasers 4. So you decided on
New Paltz, yeah, because I applied to a few other ones. I can't really remember honestly. It was like I think it was Siena. Siena's a school.
So now I remember we were like pumped that you were going to New Paltz and knew you were gonna have a sick time. We were like, oh, I don't know if our friendship if it's gonna diminish or not.
Obviously, we're 26 and 27, but we're still here, man.
Proved the test of time. So how did you decide that you wanted to get into a frat over there?
Man, All right, so I went into school. I went into school like you, because I feel like you. I'll get into this later on. I feel like you hear shit about frats. That's mostly negative. Obviously, you're not gonna hear about on the news about frat lives who are just doing normal shit. It doesn't make the news. You make the news like crazy shit. I'm not gonna get into it. It's explicit stuff. Like the hazing and stuff like that. So I was like, fuck frats, fuck it. And then I just met some kids my second semester in a class, and I met, like, they were all together, and I was like, I really like these kids, and they didn't even tell me they were in a frat at first. I just met them and chilled with them, and they were like, yeah, we're all in a frat, like, you want to come through a meeting? And that was it, man. I'm like...
So you didn't, it wasn't like you were looking at different frats?
I was like, fuck Greek life, man. I'm not...
So you didn't even really go to any other frats parties?
Oh, like, no, I did. I went to frat parties and stuff like that, and, like, I was like, basically when you're trying to get, like, a pledge and shit like that, it's called rushing. Basically, like, another frat rushed me there. But I heard some things, like, maybe the pledge process wasn't the best and stuff like that, so I kind of, like, didn't. And then I met these kids, and I was like, yeah, this feels right.
See, while you were doing this, I kind of ran an off-campus frat. Oh. Some people called it a gang, and I was very triggered by that. I felt very disrespected. And I think triggered is the word that people use now.
That shit was bad funny.
I was very offended, but anyway, so... We won't talk about off-campus frats today.
Nah, man.
So you're hanging out with this group of kids. You realize they're cool dudes. They're, like, down to earth and shit, so you decide you're going to join, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to join. And, like, I got the rundown. They were a local frat, which means I didn't have, like, a national board, like a national chapter or anything like that. So we weren't, like... run by some, like, old-ass, like, organization who we still have to pay a shit ton of money to and listen to their rules and stuff like that. We were started by a student in the 70s. Awesome. Well, in New Paltz, we started in 84. The fraternity itself was started in 57 in Albany. So, yeah, basically it was just like power to the students. Like, we're just going to do our own thing, party and stuff like that. We're not going to listen to anybody. So when they told me that, I was all about that shit. I was all about that shit.
Sounds good to me. So you guys... I visited a few times.
You did, bro.
The parties were definitely next level. It was just like, the house is packed,
Yeah,
like,
man,
every time.
Yeah, I went 5 years, partially because I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life, and partially also, like, developed, like, an anxiety disorder, so I took, like, a semester off. Like, I went for the semester, and then I realized I can't do this, so so that's why I went 5 years, man, don't judge me. But,
that was towards the end, right?
Yeah, my third and fourth year, I lived in the fraternity house.
Okay.
And that shit was a movie.
Right.
That was a good movie, but a movie.
Now, would you say, like, you got, like, a lot of, like, camaraderie and, like, life lessons out of this?
Like... People who are on the outside looking in, and I have family members, who, sorry, I'm not going to put you on blast, I'm not going to name who it is, who are, like, just so anti-frat and stuff like that. And, a lot of people say you pay for friends and shit like that. Dude, these people are, like, literally my brothers. Like, I love these kids. These kids will come to my wedding. I don't see it like, we're in a fraternity, I have to be friends with you. Like, or I'm paying to be your friend. Like,
right.
It was just different.
Because I know straight up, like, you were, like, really good friends with some people. Some people you didn't get along with.
I would see him at parties, and I'd see him at mixers.
You're just cool with them, but you don't...
I wouldn't hit him up to come through. Yeah. There were some kids, some kids were kind of assholes a little bit. Like,
so you distance yourself.
And I just, we'll see each other at a party, we'll see each other at the house at a mixer when you mix with another sorority, but, like, I'm not going to call you over to come into my room and play video games or some shit like that,
Speaking about sororities, what's your opinion on them?
See, like, I don't want to cross over a line with, like, girls and stuff like that. Like, they can get real mad and angry. But, some of the sororities were cool, but they go 10 times harder than a fraternity. Maybe not, like, pledging and stuff like that, but rules-wise, man, these girls are, like, getting, you didn't come to a meeting, you left a meeting early, you're getting, like, ostracized and shit like that. So, obviously, I love Greek life, but, like, sororities go harder. It's much more strict, and if that was, like, how the fraternity operated, I wouldn't have joined.
You wouldn't have joined. So now, like, you're in this frat now. Do you feel like, did it affect your personal relationships? Or, like, were you in a relationship while you were fraternity?
I mean, all right. So that's a story. So I had 2 roommates my freshman year. One was like indifferent about. The other one I was really close with. And he joined the fraternity, and he pledged with me. They gave him a bid, and they told me later on they mostly gave him a bid because he was my friend, and they thought like we were a package deal almost. And he doesn't have social media, so he won't see any of this. And it's not like the pledging was hard. Like the pledging did some crazy shit. You know me. You've known me for however. I wouldn't let anybody touch me, do anything like that. Like that. You know my temper, my mindset. I would never let anybody disrespect me like that. So pledging was like not hard or like not crazy, not something you see on the internet or you read in the story, whatever. But it was a commitment. It was time, and you had to put time into it. And he didn't like that. And he was like a big into the gym, and he would go to bed early for his class and stuff like that. So he dropped, and that was tough, man. He was like my best friend. Like,
yeah, so you're like, oh, maybe I should drop.
I didn't have many friends like my first semester. I'm not gonna lie. Like when your first semester of college, it was kind of hard to meet people, and he was like my only friend. We ate together every day. Like we went out together. We went to the gym together. But then I was like, you know what? I really like these kids, man. And like,
so you stuck around.
So I stuck around, and then he ended up moving out of my room. He moved into another person's room, which. It was half, I guess, because I was doing the frat thing and like, we weren't hanging out because obviously you can't drop and then still come around and hang out.
Right, disrespectful.
Yeah, so I was hanging out with these kids. I was going to these frat meetings, and like living in a 3-person dorm sucks to begin with. So that's also half the reason he moved in with another kid. True story, funny story. He moved in with another kid who had a girlfriend. And that girlfriend was there every single day, and they would just fuck in front of him. So. Kind of, he wanted to.
He screwed you.
Yeah, he wanted to go to the.
And so a lot of screwing.
He wanted to go to greener pastures, and they really weren't greener. But he ended up leaving.
If you're into that sort of thing, it might be greener.
Maybe. I don't know what you're doing, but he. So yeah, that. I was kind of hooking up with a girl back then. Like we were like hanging out and stuff like that. And then, like,
was she in a sorority or not?
No, she wasn't affiliated.
So that's always kind of weird when
And
one person's really into it, one person's not.
And especially when like you're in a small school like New Paltz and stuff like that, and there's only like a couple bars on Main Street and stuff like that, and they know who you are, so they let the fraternity in, no matter what.
I feel like a lot of drama happens between frats and sororities. Just allegedly, from what I've heard.
Yeah, no, man, that'll be true. That'll be true.
So now, a lot of people say they join frats in the first place for connections in the future. Yeah. It's almost kind of like politics.
Honestly, I don't know how much I would experience. I know some people who got jobs through our frat, but since we were local, we're the last chapter left. Every other chapter died out. We had like 6 to begin with. So I don't know how many connections you're getting. So I didn't do it for fucking connections.
I hear you, what I'm saying? I hear you, bro. I like that. So now, is there anything you would want to do different through the college experience?
Honestly, and this is no bullshit on how 3-4 years removed from school, I loved every goddamn minute of it. Goddamn minute of it. And maybe I would have studied a little bit harder. Maybe I would have done that and stuff like that. But as far as socially, man, and you know it's real when I think back on my college experience and get like a weird feeling in my stomach because that's how much I miss it. I think of like memories and I'm like, damn, those are like the greatest days of my life, man.
That's amazing.
There's something, and it's not just fraternity, but there's like something in the way I think like you can have a college experience no matter what. It was like someone going away, living with your peers.
It's definitely an experience.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of things, man. You don't get a lot of chances
to live
with your peers.
What's like your craziest story from the frat house?
Bro, I'm not going to incriminate myself or anything like
that.
Don't
incriminate anybody.
But like, fucking, so we had like parties, and a lot of freshmen came and stuff like that, because I feel like when you're a freshman, you don't meet your niche or whatever like that. You don't know your friends really. So you go to frat parties to meet people. And we had a bathroom, and I remember one party, a big party, someone ripped the tub.
They didn't upper decker you, did
they? No. They ripped the tub. What's that, like the faucet that comes out in the bathtub, right? They ripped that off, and then locked themselves in the bathroom, climbed out the bathroom window onto the roof, and jumped off so we couldn't get in the bathroom.
Your bathroom was flooding.
No, yeah, it was flooding. We couldn't get in. They locked themselves in and climbed onto the goddamn roof.
And hopped off the roof?
Who does that shit?
You think it was girls?
Yeah, we found one ID card. The ID card was a girl. So we found someone dropped it.
Those girls are crazy.
The only reason why we knew, we were flabbergasted.
Those years of their life, those girls are they're living. I love it. College parties, you just have a whole different feel to it than any other party. Kind of I feel like in New York, you go to a house party, it's, you introduce yourself and people are cool, but a lot of, especially through high school when you go to parties, everyone stays in different groups, shit like that. When you go to college, though, it's just a whole different feel.
When you're in college, man, and especially when you're younger, everybody's guard is down because they're trying to meet people. You're
just all trying to meet people, and it's just such a cool experience.
And that's why people are so anti-frat, and they say, fraternities promote drinking and, exclusivity and stuff like that. You're bugging. If you think your kid could be the greatest student in the world, love school, deep down they want to meet someone, preferably someone of the opposite sex, the same sex, whatever they're into, and they want to party.
That's what it boils down to.
That's it, man. We all want that.
And when I stayed home, but I was smart enough.
The same shit.
I realized what was going on. I was like, yo, I can't miss out on the college experience. I had a 90 Accord at that time in my life, but I just took that car and drove it to
I didn't trust that car.
Over 10 different colleges. I went to
with you we
Albany, Newport.
You came,
where'd we go? We went on WestCon.
Shout out to Nick, who's not here.
Portland. I've been to a bunch of schools. I'm forgetting them right now.
RPI. We didn't drive the RPI. We were in TC's car, which was even worse than Derry's car.
Yo, shout out to TC, man. He took that car the first time I went to Albany.
It was Big Bert. It was
he drove us.
An Oldsmobile?
It was I think it was an '84 Oldsmobile. He took that car and drove us to Albany without using any GPS and no maps.
He picked me up at New Paltz at 5 in the morning. We went up to Niagara. We watched a volleyball game.
That kid's sense of direction is just ridiculous.
He liked that girl or whatever. Or something
He's
like that.
happily married now.
Happily married now. That don't matter. We were 18.
Tommy C, TC.
We were 18 Drake hands, but we went up to Niagara, then to RPI, then to Albany. In that car was woof.
Yeah, I'm surprised I did that.
We got pulled over, too.
I got pulled over in Newport with the Accord also. That story's crazy. Kieran actually wants to call into the podcast, but I'm going to do a whole episode where I have my buddies call in.
Because honestly, that story was...
Texas, Portland.
Basically, that story, man, we
got real lucky. Basically...
I was buying some alcohol at a beer distributor with a fake ID, and a cop saw me, and I was clowning around, posing for pictures and stuff like that, and they followed us, and they pulled us over.
And long story short...
I actually missed class because they pulled us over.
We could have ended up doing 3 months in a Newport's jail, but we didn't, because, we're nice kids.
The reason, again, not to toot my own horn, but I was like, yeah, straight up, we have beer in the car. I was like, that's all we have.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to search it. And I was like, we have beer. And that was it.
And they never searched it. Newport's was crazy. So you told the one story, about the faucet. So they flooded your bathroom. Was there a lot of water damage?
It wasn't it didn't really flood, but we had it, our landlord, who ended up suing us when we left.
That's how you know it's lit.
He redid the bathroom. It wasn't a lot of water and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know if they ripped the whole pipe, but they took the faucet off and went outside. And girls are, because girls gotta pee every 5 seconds when they drink. So do I. But they're banging on the door, and we're like, what the fuck's going on? So I don't know how we got in the. I don't know. We kicked the door in or something like that. There was no one in there. The windows open, and it was a light dusting of snow on the ground. We saw footprints on the fucking roof.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
It was one of those roofs, those, kind of obviously the roof, and then you come down a little bit, and there's another little roof, a little slope awning type.
So you have any war stories you want to share?
Define war story, bro.
Just a crazy college story.
There's a lot, man. I don't know. Honestly, there's a lot. I think I remember one of my first times I went out. Our house was way off campus at that time. I was still a freshman, still living in the dorms, and our house was way off campus, and there was like a private pool near the thing. I'll never forget. We went to the private pool, and they used to like jump the fence, and they used to like smoke cigars and wear robes on like this private pool and stuff like that. I remember I was climbing the fence, I fell, and I was all muddy and bloody and stuff like that. That was like the first time I ever went out. So that's like, damn. I got some more stories, man.
And you were with your frat boys,
yeah,
right?
bro. We were like trying to climb this fence, and honestly, man, you see how the size of me.
See, I feel like when shit like that happens, you know, a certain bonding experience happens, and that's where the camaraderie comes in.
Honestly, some of these kids, man, like shout out to Scott Greco. You know, that's like my best friend, man. I lived with him in the frat house, and then we moved into an apartment because we both went 5 years. He was like a chemistry major, so he took like a light course load just because the classes were mad hard. So he took a light course load, so it took him 5 years and stuff like that.
What'd you get your major in?
English, man. I got my degree in English, and then...
So you basically just wanted to be a struggling writer, right?
Basically, and then I realized, shit, I can't do that. So I went back to school, and
Now you're doing law.
I went to Malloy, and I got like my basically like it was like a minor studies degree, legal studies minor degree, and now I'm doing law. And then now I
feel like everybody I talk to about Malloy says nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, it's a solid. I mean, I wouldn't want to live there. Like, there's like 2 dorms, and it's not really the college experience because it's small.
Yeah, no, it's like a really good community
nice
school,
right?
right?
It's a nice school.
Yeah, no, that's what I hear about it. That's awesome. They have engineering over there?
Yeah.
They do. Interesting.
It was a solid school, man. I met some cool kids in that program.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're a lot younger than me, but...
So would you say you fully experienced college?
You know, like, outside of... You know, people have, like, these stories. Like, my cousin, shout out to my cousin, he went to Pitt, University of Pittsburgh, so he got to see Division I basketball, Division I football. Outside of that, okay, maybe. This is perfect, man. The school was small. We all knew each other.
It always had such a good vibe.
It had a great vibe, man. It's a very liberal school, man. I want to clarify this. I do not smoke marijuana. Have no problem with it. But, like, High Times Magazine named it, like, one of the most stoner-friendly towns. And that's just what it is, man. Like,
yeah,
whether you're against
whether
you're against marijuana or not, you can't deny that there's, like, a vibe with people who are, like, users. Mm-hmm. And they're just laid... That's how it was, man. And the townies that stayed in that town, man, were just, like, free spirits. Mm-hmm. That was it, man.
Bunch of stoner bastards.
God damn,
did
he have weed in his system?
They just smoke weed and sit around all day.
Did he have weed in his system?
Don't do anything.
Did he have weed in his system? Good thing the cops shot him.
Yeah, I see people saying that, like, oh, yeah.
He had marijuana in his system. Good thing the cops shot him.
Another innocent man killed. Oh,
unarmed, on camera.
He wasn't innocent.
Pot in his system.
He had cannabis in his system. I mean, for one, I believe that if you have cannabis in your system, you're a criminal. Listen, all right, let's move on.
I want to say one thing. I went to school with a kid. He was much older than me. He might have graduated like my freshman year. He was the biggest stoner in the world, and he did into like not just weed, but like psychedelics. And he was the smartest kid I knew.
He was going for the full experience.
He had like a 4.0 GPA. Mm-hmm. So kiss my ass if you want to say that.
I know mad smart kids that have done psychedelics.
He was all into DMT and all that shit.
Oh shit! I'm too afraid.
He had 4.0, bro. He was the smartest kid. He lived in one of the old frat houses, and like one day we went up during the winter break when the school was closed, and I slept. Obviously, you can't sleep in the dorms, so I slept in his room.
Instead of coming
all
home.
the books were fucking about DMT, trips, and all these things. He had all these books in his room.
That's so awesome. It's you know, DMT though. Eventually, everyone's gonna experience it because when you die, that chemical is instantly shot into your brain.
That
so.
shit scares me.
No matter what, everyone's gonna experience that at one point. So no, you've had some like crazy life-changing experiences at college, right?
Mm.
You mentioned earlier that you had an anxiety problem. You want to speak about what you did to deal with it, stuff like that?
It was like, I think it was supposed to be my junior year. Obviously, my senior year ended up being my junior year because I wanted an extra year. But I think it was my actual junior year. And, I don't know, man, I was in, I took a class, Fiction into Film, And we.
Ooh, that sounds amazing.
And it was like, obviously fiction. You read the book and you watch the film.
Do they like teach you about like old school directors?
Yeah, dude.
Was Stanley Kubrick mentioned? Yeah. He's brought up in the class.
We were watching Pet Sematary. I read the book Pet Sematary, watching Pet Sematary, and then all of a sudden, like, I felt like, and if you ever want to see, if you're out there, whatever, you want to listen to something, Tony Soprano actually has a thing where he had, like, you remember, do you ever watch Sopranos?
Many times.
There was like a season where he would start passing out and stuff like that.
Yes.
Because he had an anxiety disorder.
I love the psychology scenes in the Sopranos.
Yeah, he had an anxiety disorder, and he would say it felt like pop rocks and soda would, like, start going off in his head, and that's what it felt like. I was like, oh, whoa, what is going on? I'm like,
so it started happening to you while you were away at college?
I got up, put my book bag on, walked out of class, didn't say a word, and that was it, man. I started having panic attacks like every day.
Damn.
And I went home. I finished that semester out. It was the next semester where I came home from school, but like they started putting me on different medications, and they were like, maybe you just need Xanax, like to take it a couple times. That didn't work. I would take Xanax. It was like a Band-Aid. Yeah, hell yeah, I felt good on it. But, like, it didn't stop the underlying problem. And I went on. I'm still taking Lexapro. I still take it every day. And
you exercise a lot.
Yeah, I exercise a lot. I lost
like that helps.
Yeah, I've lost like 60 pounds since last year. And I exercise a lot. I box, like, a lot. And I'm okay now, man. Thank God, man. But, like, I was in some dark times. Dark times, man. Some times where, and like, I don't know who's gonna watch this, if anyone get inspired, but sometimes where I thought, like, yo, my life's over. Like, I'm just gonna end it, and that's it, like, it's not worth it, but I got through it.
Yeah, no, it's just so crazy. I feel like a lot of my close buddies went through some really dark times, and then, like, I'll meet up with them 2 years later, and they'll just be, like, loving life.
Yeah, what I went through in college, and in hell, again, the fraternity helped because I lived with 7 other guys and I was always occupied. And an idle mind is the devil's playground. Truthfully, when you're sitting in your goddamn room, man, it's just you and your thoughts, that's the worst time. I lived with 7 other guys and I was always with somebody. And that's what helped me get it. I was still suffering bad, but that's what helped me really.
Because I remember, we would hang out with you. Sometimes, like, me and buddies would drive up to Newport to hang out with you. And there'd be some times where, like, we realized you were kind of depressed. But then, like, 3 years later, we're at Mary Carroll's, and, like, I won't mention names, but they're like, yo, Tierney's fucking loving life right now, man. I'm like, yeah.
I was in bad shape, but I don't know what happened, man. Like, and I don't even know if it was the medicine or my mindset changed. I grew up. I don't know, but, like, everything was doom and gloom back then, man. And maybe, like, sometimes, like, the fraternity life, like, I would self-medicate, like, with beer, like, alcohol and stuff like that. I was in bad spots, man.
College isn't even, well, for some people, it's binge drinking.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like for, like, bros, it's, like, not the amount you drink, it's just every day that you have a few. I feel like that really... Well, I'm just speaking about what I was doing when I was chilling.
I don't know who will see this, but I was in some dark places, man.
So now you're loving life. You're pursuing a career that you really want to do.
I love life. Oh man, I love life. Like, I think back to them where I was, and it's with the anxiety. I also had OCD, so I had, like, obsessive thoughts, and, like, everything was doom and gloom, man.
I know you got really big into one of those, it's like a certain mindset. It's like a philosophy, but it becomes a mindset.
Oh, it was like, it was basically the thought that there could be possibly that you could be the only person who exists and the rest around you are made up. I remember I was like, a figment of your imagination. I remember I was like, I saw that and, like, I couldn't get it out of my head. But, like...
Because when you read up on that, it's actually hard to prove
you can't prove
other
anything.
Things exist.
Honestly, I found out the hard way that you cannot prove anything in life. Nothing can be proved. No matter what equation you fucking think or whatever, someone made that equation up. You can't prove that it's, like, a real thing. So, like...
When it comes down to the nuclear level, like, this is string theory, atoms just pop in and out of existence, and it changes based on if they know they're being observed or not.
I a big part of my anxiety for years was questioning my existence, pretty much, and the existence of the world. But then I realized...
And, like, why do certain things happen to
and then
me,
I realized...
Like, do I have control
Exactly.
of this?
Then I realized, fuck it, this is all I have. This is what I'm going to experience for the rest of whatever this is, so I might as well, whatever it is, if it's real or not, gotta enjoy it.
That's what people say, is, like, real life is, like, the craziest psychedelic trip that you could experience. Like, if life was just born in a vacuum, you know, you have an organism walking around a glass box, say. But now, we grow up, we have to deal with every social interaction. You have to find a job, that's all social interactions. A human's basically, like, you have many, many social interactions, and then you base yourself based upon all those interactions, experiences.
Yeah. And, I questioned... I spent an embarrassing amount of time researching this shit. And then I just
What was the name of some of those philosophies?
The thought that you're the only person in existence and the rest is your figment of your imagination is called solipsism. SOLIPSISM. And obviously you have the Matrix theory. And you have the whole theory that what if this is a computer simulation, or what your brain's in a vat theory.
You ever get into multiverse theory?
Yeah.
So multiverse theory is basically like what's going on right now. If the universe is truly infinite, there's like
there's an infinite you.
Every variation of everything is going on right now. Like, see, like I just move my hand left, and in another life. There's a
moving right.
But there's also a guy with a purple shirt on, moving left and right, and
it's actually funny because the cartoon, it's like an adult cartoon, Rick and Morty, touches on that. It's this guy Kid Morty, and his grandpa's like a mad scientist, whatever. But they have like a portal gun, and they can go into any dimension, and there's literally an evil version of yourself, a version of yourself who is like, you know, mentally retarded, like a version, that's the multiverse theory, pretty much.
Yeah, see, basically, which is totally possible, because truly, the thing is, when you talk about something being infinite, a lot of scientists agree the universe is infinite. And something that's truly infinite is basically like there's basically an Earth for every grain of sand on every beach on Earth right now. Every grain of sand, there's another planet. And like it's just basically the atoms are just rearranged ever so slightly different. Every single possible combination.
The Flash, the show The Flash on CW, I'm like really into comic book stuff.
Comic books are dope. You want to talk about which comics you're into, actually?
Honestly, so I've been trying to read the Marvel Now. It's Marvel Now because the stuff in the 70s and the 80s. First of all,
comics is like the biggest lost art form.
Yeah, it's unattainable. The stuff that you want to buy, it's a shame. It's unattainable because, you know, the people collect and stuff like that. So I'm reading the stuff that you see in the theaters now. Like the the Avengers Civil War and all that shit. And actually, the last comic I just read a couple pages before I left here is Gwenpool. It's, not Gwenpool, Spider-Gwen. Gwenpool's another one. Spider-Gwen, it's like another version of a Spider-Man.
It's basically like in 10 years they're gonna be making movies about that.
Yeah. Basically, it's like a world of Spider-Man, like an alternate universe of Spider-Man where he doesn't get bit by the spider, but Gwen Stacy, his love interest in the new Spider, the Amazing Spider-Man, she gets bit, so she becomes Spider-Man.
Damn, so you're real up on like current Spider-Man. Who's the author of the Spider-Man series now?
I don't even know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
Because like they change a lot, right? And then like I know like people are, you're like which era was better?
I wanted to go to Comic-Con recently and meet Stan Lee.
Who I'm having on the podcast next week has been to Comic-Con. Yeah. We'll get into that.
It's I think this one, New York Comic-Con, was Stanley's last New York Comic-Con, which is like crazy. But yeah.
What other types of art forms do you enjoy?
Man, I love me some music. I read avidly.
What have you been listening to lately?
What I've been listening to lately? Shout out to the guy Dave East, man. Because Dave East, you know, there's a lot of
like that hip hop crap, huh?
That goddamn rap crap.
It's corrupting the youth.
There's some rappers out there, and listen, I'm a pretty liberal guy, whatever you like, as long as it doesn't affect me or affect the people around you, go for it. So if you like rappers with like the purple hair and the skinny
You listen to the new Joe Budden album?
Did I listen to it? Bro.
That's bars.
The last song I listened to before I came to your house was Uncle Joe.
Yeah.
So
that song's so crazy because he's basically saying like, I'm the last one to realize I got old. I think that's an actual lyric in the song, and that's basically the metaphor of the whole song.
But yeah, so Dave East, I think his new album's called like Kyrie Chanel or something like that.
Yeah.
It's some real New York-ish.
Designer.
Some real New York-ish. No singing, no skinny jean wearing, like just some hood stuff. And
I'm a huge Designer fan. How do you feel about Designer?
Timmy Turner, all that stuff like that. Man, people shit on Designer, but I like him, bro.
Who's your favorite hip hop artist of all time?
Oh man, probably am. And it's like so like typical.
What about Lil Bow Wow?
Yo, true story. Another story of college. My friend and I, Scott, my roommate, started a rumor that Lil Bow Wow died. We started posting on social media. R.I.P. Lil Bow Wow. I can't believe this happened.
That's why I love Frats. I always hear so many fucking funny stories.
And people actually, yo, did he really die? And like, we started doing it like for the anniversary.
Did you guys have one of those like? It's like a message board, like a fraternity.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And like, but like they post funny ass stories that everybody gets.
Some of it gets a little too crazy, but yeah. But yeah, back to hip hop, man. Dave East, because that's just grimy. That new button.
I just realized you brought a bottle of red to the studio.
No, man, I bought a bottle of fucking pink, man. That's because that's some girly stuff, man. That was $5, so.
Yeah, no, but like. I love music, like, from every genre. Like, that bottle just made me think of Billy Joel. And I went to the show where Billy Joel closed the Coliseum. Yeah. Now he's about to open it back up. Yeah. They, like, renovated the Coliseum. I feel like they changed the seats, and now they're, like, saying, like, oh, it's reopened. Like, what else could they change?
That was a shithole, man.
I mean, yeah. There's been, well, it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
New Yorkers don't really treat stuff the best. No. There's so much pollution in New York compared to any other state you go to.
I listen to a lot of that other music, and I have to thank Sean, Prophet, and you. A lot of that grunge, because I'm like a giant Alice in Chains fan now, man. I listen to them all the time. I wouldn't have ever listened to them if it wasn't for fucking Sean or you.
It's so crazy, like my playlist that like. A lot of people, I don't know what a lot of people listen to, man, but I just listen to a ton of Alice in Chains. I just feel like that music is so legendary.
And a ton of gangster rap, man. And people
obviously I still like hip-hop music.
Tom, you're white. Why do you listen to this?
Love.
I don't know, because it's good. White people music sucks. White people music now sucks.
Me though, I like conscious rap more. Like,
the only reason, I just want to say to my viewers, the reason why I'm moving back like this because I have Charlie horse like a son of a bitch right now. Sorry, guys.
You gotta stretch out.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to stretch my goddamn leg. Anyway, go. I'm good. All right.
So, yeah, no, we were talking about grunge music. Who else do you like besides,
Alice?
Yeah.
Soundgarden. A lot of, oh my god. Why is this happening? Anyway.
Pearl Jam.
I listen a lot. Oh my god, Pearl Jam. Yeah, basically whatever Sean says he's listening to these days, I listen to, and I came from
that's huge.
I came from the roots. Basically, when we were in middle school, I listened to a lot of rap, and my first album I ever bought rap was Outkast Stankonia. Right?
I love Outkast, man.
But then when I came into high school, man, I listened to a lot of emo shit.
I feel like a lot of people go through an emo phase.
I don't know. I was with a lot of rich white kids in high school.
I feel like I've just always been the same.
Yeah, I was with a lot of rich white kids, and Deej loved emo too. And like,
shout out to Deej. I'm going to have him call in. We might do a podcast through Skype. He's very into politics now.
Very into it.
So, this election coming up is crazy. You want to speak on it or not?
I gotta keep my leg like this. I'm sorry. I don't know, man. It's just crazy, and like, personally, I think I'm gonna vote for Hillary Clinton if I vote. I'm trying to vote in the local elections because I feel like that's what makes a difference.
I agree 100%.
And she's just like, I hate her. I don't like her. I fucking hate her,
I feel like what
man.
goes on is a lot of people are not very knowledgeable on the Electoral College.
Yeah.
And what really goes on.
And I'm sorry, and I know people are really going to get
If you're on Facebook typing, like, paragraph after paragraph about politics, you better go and do some research on the Electoral College.
Because right, that's what I'm saying, like, I want to vote at least locally, because that shit doesn't matter. That shit does not matter. And I know people are going to say, Tommy
is into politics.
You can't have that mindset, man. How you going to do that? That's how someone like a monster gets fucking voted in. Bro, we have the Electoral College.
The system is shot.
When is the last time a Republican won the state of New York?
A reality star and someone who should be in jail.
Someone should be in jail, man, and I'm going to vote for her, probably.
Actually, today's a big day for the Hillary for jail movement.
Yeah.
The FBI grabbed her off her plane. I feel bad for her. She's really cool.
There's a lot of mixed up reports that is it directly involved with her? Is it just like they found her on Wiener's phone or whatever and stuff like that? But what I just want to say.
How funny is that? A guy named Anthony Weiner keeps sending his wiener in text messages.
Fucking everyone, man. No one wants your goddamn bro. If you're out there, dick pics, no, they don't want them. But anyway.
Yo, no, it's crazy. I've never done this, but I know a big move is, like, guys just hit up girls and send them dick pics, even as an opener in DMs.
How do you do that shit?
That's the sick life that we're living.
How do you fucking just meet a female girl and show me your penis?
The sickest part is, I've heard it's worked before.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you know, like, it's just this world.
You got like a nice
crazy,
looking schlonger, and then they see your face, and maybe like after you show your face, and they're like, "Yeah, you're cute. Let's do it."
It's wild, man.
But anyway, what I want to say is, like you said, like you better like really do your research and shit like that. I already saw people saying, because they're saying that no matter what, the information's not gonna come out before the election, like whether or not she's guilty and shit like that.
Right.
So like, oh yeah, get her in, impeach her, and put Trump in office. That's not how it fucking works, bro. Tim Kaine will be our president, not fucking Donald Trump. God damn, that scares the shit out of me. That's not how it works. And she gets impeached and put in prison. Trump's not gonna be in prison.
I was a big Trump supporter until his quote came out, grab him by the pussy.
Yeah, grab him by the pussy.
I felt very triggered.
Triggered. Joe Rogan.
Very offended.
Hashtag triggered.
I like that guy's hair, though. I mean...
Listen, I hate both of them.
He has a famous hairstyle.
I hate both of them, but like, I don't know, man. This is real dark days.
And we used to be really into like.
Because I was gonna get into that.
In
bro.
this very basement.
A lot of people.
Hopefully, the FBI never seizes my computer over there.
No,
I haven't turned that computer on in like probably 10 years.
A lot of titties.
But the shit that was looked up on that computer. People should watch Hacking Democracy. There's stories going around right now, news outlets, that people were at polling places and they voted for Donald, and it came through and said that it was a Democratic pick.
Burning also. But anyway.
So look up Hacking Democracy. It's happening again. It's happened before. That documentary has actually won an Emmy.
We were down here at like 11, 12, 13 years old looking up some shit. The Illuminati, the New World Over, the Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove.
FEMA camps. All these things.
Google right now Alex Jones Bohemian Grove.
Honestly, bro, I blame a lot of my anxiety on the fact that I was paranoid the world back then.
Bohemian Grove.
No wonder why I grew up with anxiety,
It's not
bro.
like Cherry Grove.
No.
Actually, they do some weird... they do some weird stuff like Cherry Grove.
Honestly, like, I grew up being mad anxious, mad anxiety. It's probably because I was scared of the world when I was fucking 12.
Mm-hmm. The world leaders literally sacrifice people, like, burn them at the stake. It's not an actual person, supposedly, but there's crazy videos of, like, Alex Jones infiltrated Bohemian Grove. This was, like, 20 years ago now. And, like, we were watching those videos as little kids. What's going on?
Oh my god, I need beers. Anyway.
You're drinking Shock Top.
I'm drinking shots out because
You get into like craft beers and stuff?
Yeah, I get a lot of craft beers.
You're big into craft beers?
But like, I just wasn't into my older cousins, it's through my dad's brother, but like, he married a woman who had kids in a previous marriage, so they're like 40. Mm-hmm. One of them works for Blue Point Brewery, so I get the shit that never even hits the fucking
you got some unreleased shit? You're big into that shit.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of frat dudes get into craft beers.
It was a lot.
I feel like there's a lot of stereotypes when it comes to frats.
Listen. You wanted you see a lot of shit. You see, especially, we have some friends who are SAE, and I think they made the news the biggest recently, kind of recently, like within the last year, about the songs they were singing on the bus. I mean, listen, a lot of these fraternities are in big schools in the South that were created in the 1800s. What do you think went on back then? There's just like a difference between, do you evolve? Then do you put that past in the past and keep going? These fucking, it was probably a song they created back in the day, and these like little privileged rich white kids were like, it's funny. But a lot of these fraternities,
it's not funny.
It's not fucking funny. It's not fucking funny. And like, I had to defend fraternities for so long because like I said, like, I am one of the most liberal kids. And I am so, I get, how many fights I've gotten into people talking about white privilege and all these things like that? I am so fucking liberal, and I'm in a fraternity. You think, like, if I had some fucking racist, some KKK members, you think I'd join that shit? No.
Right.
But a lot of these fraternities are in big schools in the South that were created in the late 1800s. What do you think they're going to teach them? It's just like your responsibility to fucking flush that shit out.
Yeah.
These rich white kids don't even fucking know.
As an individual.
Yeah.
Yeah, as an individual, you have to be smart enough to know that, like, it's all about being progressive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like even like, I got family members telling me I'm all like this hippie, I'm peace, love, and all this shit. If I was in a fraternity with some fucking white supremacists, I would not join that shit.
I know, it blows my mind when you hear stories like that. Like, there's not one person there that realizes, like, yo, this shit is wrong.
And then there probably was, where there were some sheep, like, I don't want to fucking...
Yeah, that's the problem. Don't be a sheep in life. You have to stand up for what you personally think is right.
If I was in the fraternity and they were sort of saying, like, singing some racist shit, I'd be like, yo, fuck you. Like, stop singing that shit.
I know, like, you've, you guys, there's been times in your frat where you had opposing views with people and, like, you straight up beefed with them.
Yeah, for sure.
One time, a famous quote from one of our buddies, he was like, Tommy, I have your back, but we can't fight your whole frat.
Yeah. And that one, I don't even know if that was like, that wasn't some political shit. That was just like, I was drunk and like, I don't know, like they were like saying some shit and I was like, yeah, I don't agree with that. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. And then now they try to kill me.
It's crazy how like the group mentality sets in. More so there than ever, I feel like. But, no, yeah, I feel like you had the full college experience for sure. So is there anything that, like, you wanted me to ask you and I didn't ask you?
Dude, we can fucking go on. That's the thing with me, that we can go for like 6 hours, but we touched on it,
Yeah, no, I'd love to have you back on the podcast, and we'll talk about more stuff.
I'll be back.
Alright, Tommy, thanks for coming on, man.
My guy.
Appreciate it.